How this 16-year-old melody can restore your hope on a hard day, even if you aren't sure you believe in its message. I'm Edwin Culver, classical guitarist and composer who expresses the burdens of others through music so they no longer have to bear those burdens alone. And just want to welcome you today for this video, this Facebook Live, or if you're watching the recording, all the love to you, because this is cool. We get to talk about a piece that's kind of just out of nowhere been very encouraging to me this last week. I've been learning a lot of things, and you might have been noticing that lately I've been uploading a video or doing a Facebook Live once a week on Sunday evenings where I share things that I've been learning, not just about music, but also just about the journey of trying to create a career in music and trying to share music with others and to become a better version of myself. And something that my mentor was teaching me that I think you might benefit from was he was talking about how when things aren't working, we want to build an automatic habit for our strength to just resolve in those moments. So in this case, he's mentoring me on business. And when you're trying to use some sort of strategy to sell something or market something, that sort of thing, it's just not working, it's not landing, it's not getting the results, then that's when, instead of getting frustrated, beating yourself up, bringing up all this emotional baggage and stuff like that, honor that stuff, but your automatic reaction should be for your resolve to strengthen, and you simply just look at it objectively. Okay, what's not working? Okay, let's just not do that. Let's pivot. Let's experiment with other things over here. See if these things work. And kind of easier said than done at first because it is a habit, kind of a muscle that I'm starting to build. And I started running into some just really kind of painful things this week. Just some of them unrelated, some of them out of my control, a lot of them having to do with just things that have happened to me in the past. I'm sure you can relate to that, and that sort of thing. And there were some things this week that were just not going right at all. And that brought up a lot of shame. There was even one part where the things did go well for me. I was still ashamed. I actually got to perform at my very first festival this week, and I'm excited about that. Like, I got to do that, and it felt good to do that. But honestly, immediately I was like, but I didn't do well enough. This wasn't right. This wasn't right. That wasn't right. And my mentor was telling me he's done big things too. Like, I don't know if I should share this, but he's out of the dozens and dozens of people he's mentored, he said, I've mentored 15 people who went off to become millionaires. Do you think that's ever helped with my shame, Edwin? And it's like he's got huge results, but these are identities that for whatever reason we seem to be kind of trapped with. And so I've been learning a lot about dealing with that, changing that, understanding that, honoring that sort of thing, and that it's kind of a little scary for me to share that with you right now. But let me know if there's something that you have really wanted to go well, to work out, and just lately this week it has not been. Because if you share that, I think you might find some encouragement, some hope in this melody that I want to talk about today. And before I talk about it, though, because I'm going to play it for you too at the end, and I want to make sure my guitar is nice and in tune. Before I do, though, I want to give you a special announcement in case you are not one of my Inner Circle patrons. My patrons, I'll tell you the exact details later, but my patrons, they actually support this music that I'm writing, and the music that I'm learning, the ways that I'm sharing it with others. They've supported the album that I recorded, and they are supporting the full-length, big, mega album that I'm writing right now that I am on track. I am aiming to have all of the music written and finished by the end of December. So they're supporting me in that. And I've been racking my brain on a good way to support you guys, who are supporting me. Or a good way to give back to you right now, because I don't have a lot to give because I'm writing so much music. And after December, once I'm recording that music, I'm going to be giving it to my patrons first. My patrons are going to see the recordings, they're going to see behind the scenes and in the studio. They're going to see I'm going to break down the pieces and explain the meaning and what I was thinking while writing them. And my patrons are going to get all that special treatment once January rolls around. But until January rolls around, I wanted to figure out a way to give to you guys. So what I'm going to be doing, you may have noticed every week I've been learning a new piece of music and performing that piece of music. Now it's a little spotty, it's a little rough, because I literally have only about 7 days to get the piece down and into my fingers and ready to perform like this. So for my patrons, I want to treat you guys even more special. For my patrons, you are actually going to get your own live streamed recital at the end of the month. So after 4 weeks, I will have learned at least 4 new pieces, and I will have practiced them for 4 weeks. And I'm going to perform that in a recital. Hey, what's up, Nico? Good to see you, man. Much love, dude. Hello. Nico's my good friend all the way from the Philippines, so this is incredible how the internet connects us. We get to sit here and share the beauty of classical guitar with Nico all the way in the Philippines right now. It's super cool. So I'm going to perform, kind of a concert every single month for my patrons only. My patrons are the only ones who are going to get access to that, and that sort of thing. So if you would like to learn more about how you can do that, just send me a message. Just click my Facebook profile here and just send me a message and say, hey, I'd really like to see those live recitals, and I can share more information about all of the benefits that my patrons get for doing that sort of thing. But let's move on to this piece of music. I told you, this is a 1,600-year-old melody that can literally restore your hope on a hard day, even if you don't believe in its message, even if you don't necessarily agree with what it's saying. Just the sound itself. And I'll explain that secret there, how it can encourage you, even if you don't believe in the lyrics or believe in the meaning of the song. But this 16-year-old melody is now known to us as a hymn called Be Thou My Vision. And it's got, it's kind of transformed many times. It really became popular, the English translation really became popular right after World War II, when a certain translation done in 1912 actually got picked up by U.S. printers, and they started printing it in the U.S. Right after World War II. And since then, this is kind of a hymn that we've heard oftentimes in churches all across America, and it's got a lovely tune that's actually of Irish descent, and the lyrics themselves are actually of Irish descent. I'm not going to try to read some of the Irish, but I will read real quickly here a little bit of the English lyrics. Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Be all else but not to me, save that thou art. Be thou my best thought in the day and the night, both waking and sleeping. Thy presence, my light. Be thou my wisdom, and thou my true word. Be thou ever with me, and I with thee, Lord. I'm going to skip a little bit here to the third stanza, because you're going to hear some language here that's very reminiscent of medieval warfare. Be thou my breastplate, my sword for the fight. Be thou my whole armor. Be thou my true might. Be thou my soul's shelter. Be thou my strong tower. O raise thou me heavenward, great power of my power. Now what's going on here is these Irish hymn writers back in the 400s and 800s AD, they were using a certain type of hymn that was called a lorica. And a lorica, L-O-R-I-C-A, is a Latin word that actually means breastplate. So a lorica was kind of used as a prayer or an incantation of divine protection, kind of seeing it as a shield. So you would sing or recite this lorica as kind of putting up a spiritual shield, not only in times of battle, like the medieval period's so well known for, but also actually in daily, just regular daily life.